full day of shooting and meetings, and I feel very thankful and very nostalgic because this is the end of the year, and I just feel like this year has been so much of everything. And it's funny because I was just sitting and remembering certain trips or moments, and I'm like, that even happened in 2022? So I thought I'm gonna do a sit down and just review the year with you guys and review it honestly with myself. I feel like I'm catching up with myself a little bit here. There are quite a few trips and moments that are very much engraved in my memory. One of them was the Belmont trip with Gary. We went away for I would say about a week. We were like 3 days in San Martin and then 3 days in Anguilla, and it was so amazing. I mean, the grounds were so breathtaking, and it was pretty much, I would say, the one vacation this year that we had like one-on-one quality alone time, surrounded by this beautiful environment, amazing service, amazing food, and actually had time to just relax. We weren't overstimulated, which I feel like is a lot of the times happens whenever we travel with the kids, or even somewhere where it's kind of still part of work. It was really cool to stay in the hotel where we were on our honeymoon. That was really cool because, I mean, we also celebrated 10 years this year. It doesn't feel like it's been 10 years. Like, it does, but it doesn't. It's been really cool to just reflect and look back, because 10 years is a very much of a, monumental moment for a couple to be together for 10 years. Like, it's serious. I'm in a relationship. Then the next trip, I feel like that was extremely memorable, and one of my favorite moments this year was a Prince Edward County cottage trip with the family. The majority of what I remember from our cottage days were just a lot of family time. It was also during the period where we took away electronics completely from the kids. So it was just a very engaged, quality time with our family and with our friends. We had a bunch of friends that came to visit us since we moved to Miami that we haven't seen. So just being in Prince Edward County in Canada and, enjoying the nature, enjoying the fresh air and the beautiful house we were in, it was such a joy. We spent a lot of nights around the campfire. We were on the beach. We were playing around. It felt like I cracked the code on slowing down time because we were so present. And it's so cute because Maxi still reminds me of the house because the interior was black. So he always talks to me about are we going back to our black house, I am very much looking forward to going back to Canada, to the cottage in the summer, and spending more of that time together and creating those memories because it was really special. Then we had all the boys' birthday this year. We had Jake's birthday, who turned 9, Benny turned 8, and Maxi turned 4. I can't believe how big they got. I can't believe that it's they turned 9 and 8. I mean, this year it's Jake's last year in the single digit age. That's crazy. Next year I'm gonna have a 10-year-old. Me. I'm gonna have a 10-year-old. And my sweet Maxi turned 4. That little munchkin, I can't believe he's 4. He developed so much this year. As a parent, you constantly think that something is going on. You're not doing enough. There's something that always needs attention. And I kind of felt it with Maxi, especially because the first year of his life, I was just so preoccupied with working and growing our business, and I wasn't very present, and I very much wanted to change that. And I feel like there was always things that are coming in between that, if it's work things or family things or just personal things. And I feel like with this move, it very much required me to just remove myself from a constantly moving life that we've had in Toronto, that I was literally always on autopilot. And here, when we moved to Miami, I had to be just extremely conscious and pay attention to the cues and to communicate with the kids and see where they're at. And we had some rough patches with Maxi of just the changing, with Nori leaving us because she went back to Canada. She still comes visit us, but Nori's been part of our family for almost 10 years. So it's been really hard, and I was very much worried about Maxi. So it was definitely an adjustment period, and I feel like now he's really starting to come into his own, and he's talking so much, and he's expressing himself, and he loves music, and he loves dancing, and he's just so funny, and he has such a like cool personality, super chill until he wants something, and he's just so excited to be around his brothers, and he's super sweet. Gary always tells me like, you cuddling him too much, but I have to say, as a mother's intuition, I truly feel like Maxi, he needs all that extra love, you know. And I can't explain it. Obviously all kids need extra love, but he's a new soul, and he's just so sweet, and I just feel like I think I also have this feeling because, you know, Gary and I talked about, I mean, we're not going to have any more children. I mean, never say never, but we're kind of saying never, because we really want to focus on raising the boys and establishing ourselves, and continue, you know, to grow our business together. Also just enjoy life, you know, with each other and with the kids, and also individually. So we decided it would be very selfish to bring another child into the picture right now. Also financial strain, like, let's be real, with inflation and everything, like, it's a lot. So yes, I think maybe even, you know, remembering that he is kind of my last baby. Just 32nd birthday. What did I do on my birthday? Oh, my birthday this year was really nice. It was really small. It was intimate. I wanted it to be intimate. Obviously celebrated a little bit with the kids at home, between a cake here and a cake there. My birthday dinner was with my mom and Gary. Gary bought me the most thoughtful gift, wrote me the most beautiful, amazing card. I will cherish it forever. It was really beautiful. It was very special to me. It made me feel really emotional, and I just felt very proud of the life that I've built and of the woman that I've become and becoming. 30s is definitely my decade. Like, I feel it. I feel like I'm coming into my own. I feel like that I'm getting closer and closer to just like that, you know, essence of myself without all these, you know, roles and egos and identities that I tie myself to. So it's getting good. And I heard that it just gets better. Also hit some milestones. We got to 2 million on Instagram, which is really cool. But you know what? I've been now doing content creation for about 6 years now. To me, at the end of the day, the numbers and these kind of statistics on milestones are nice, but you get desensitized to them. So it was a milestone, and you know, I'm very proud of what we've created and that so many people are engaging with the content. But at the end of the day, it's those like connections and those messages and those conversations that I have that just like keep me going. That's very special to me. And I feel like this year I've been a bit distracted with all the things and all the, you know, personal changes that's been going on. So I feel like I've had moments where I just felt kind of disconnected, and I'm working on it, and I'm working through it to very much go back to creating from a place of connection and from a place of like, you know, true purpose. Definitely, I know that in, you know, any business, any industry, any profession, any time you do something that you feel is your calling and something you're proud of and that you're trying to grow and build, there's gonna be ups and downs. It's inevitable. So I've been really honest with myself in the last few months, just, you know, evaluating of what value do I bring, and how can I bring more, and how can I, you know, create a space online, which was the reason why I started doing social media. So just really going back to my roots and understanding what it is that I need to say, not I need to say, but I want to say, and the message behind it, and the value behind it. So a lot of that is happening right now. There's never a dull moment. You never just like reach a destination and you're like, you know what, that's it. The hard work is finished. There's always more and more and more. And that's what makes life exciting, I guess. I guess. We also bought a house. Okay, buying a house was a huge deal. As you guys remember, we did a video that finding a house in Miami was probably the hardest things we've done. It was such a roller coaster, emotionally, physically, financially. It was a lot. We ended up purchasing a home that I personally am absolutely in love with. It's such a special space for me, makes me feel very special, very unique, because it is very unique. I'm just very grateful that we got that opportunity to find it. And now, we're settling in. We've been actually living there for a couple of weeks now, and we had a little bit of a rough patch in the beginning because there was quite a bit of like an initiation phase, I would say, of the house. Was just kind of like, I don't know if you believe in energy and stuff, but like something was going on. So it's this, slowly getting used to the energy of the house, bringing in our own. I've been doing that. Gary doesn't like buy any of this. He's like, shit is just old and breaks, and that's how it is. I'm like, no. There's something more to it, because just the timing of it all doesn't make sense. But we're in a good place now. We bought this house and we're so excited about it because there was such minor improvements that it needed. We just needed to change floors and a roof and paint. But it ended up being such a big project, and longer project. And those delays also cost a lot of patience and energy and money. But that's how it is, and anyone who ever bought a home or a property can attest to that. It's absolutely a shit show, so it is what it is. But now we are there and getting used to the neighborhood. So far, it's been great. Also had a really cool kind of welcome to Miami. We got to shoot the cover for Ocean Drive, which was really cool. It is a very iconic, publication for Miami and Florida. It's been an honor to be featured as the cover model for it, and the interview that was inside, I feel really grateful, and we had a wonderful day shooting it. So also memories that I will definitely cherish for a long time. I also been working on something that felt very scary to me. It's been the podcast, which is called Not Alone by Valeria Lipovetsky. That's me. And it very much took me by surprise. It's very vulnerable to record a podcast that speaks about certain topics and speaking to other people and experts, that it really kind of shakes you if you are not rooted, or if you are not secure, and if you are not all in. And I think that this year I took a little bit too much on my plate, and I've wanting to do this podcast for so long, and I'm so happy that we finally did. But it's very much, it's teaching me a lot about myself. I'm very happy about it, but it also makes me very nervous. As a perfectionist, recovering perfectionist, it really triggers me at certain points, where I feel like I'm not good enough and I'm not smart enough, and what I'm doing is not, interesting enough. Like there's always these, intrusive thoughts and just these not very nice ways to speak to yourself. So I've been kind of dealing with that, and it's been interesting. I'm really excited to see the result of this podcast. We are almost done recording our season 1, and I know that it's just going to get better and stronger, and I will find, and I am finding my voice in a different format, which is very important to me, because that's where I want to develop. So yay me, yay Valeria. Feel the fear and do it anyways. And we also moved to our office. So as you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, and from the Toronto days, in Toronto we had such a great setup with our condo that we converted into our studio space to shoot at and do all the things that we needed to do. And when we decided to move, it was really hard for me to imagine how it's going to look like somewhere else, because my team is still in Toronto, and we work kind of remotely, Gary and I was really worried about that, but we managed to kind of figure out a flow that works for us, and found this studio space that I'm shooting in right now, that has this beautiful tree here. This studio space that we are slowly organizing, bringing into life to suit our needs. It feels like home. I don't want to show it to you right now because it's actually freaking mess. No, you know what? I'm going to show it to you. This is our sweet home. This is my home away from home. And right now she is going through it. We were shooting today, so there's quite a bit of stuff going on here. But at least we started creating some kind of order, and we're going to continue working on it. until it is perfect. I've also had an opportunity this year to meet and work with some amazing people. We have Amarsana, who's I've been working with on styling and on sourcing items of clothing, and she became such a dear friend, helped me so much during fashion weeks and some other projects that was just insane. And it's so cool to connect with other creatives that appreciate the industry you're in and kind of the work that you do, and you get to play together, which is the best thing ever. And then also Celine, who's been literally like, I don't even remember my life before her. So just like a refresh, Celine, we hired, was our first actually Miami hire, and she came on the team a year ago, and she's just been the like such a blessing in my life. I feel like I'm gonna cry. Celine, if you're watching this, I love you. She's just been such an amazing just person to share time and space with. It's funny because she came for an assisting job and she kind of became, she's like managing my life at this point. She's very special and I have so much fun with her. It's really cool to be able to have somebody that you can just connect with and laugh with, and like you guys speak the same language sometimes I do not speak properly, so she doesn't get what I'm saying. For me, you know, one of the things when we left Toronto was that fear of like, I got so used to working with this amazing creative team that I've had, and how's it gonna be working alone? Celine kind of came, and now she's helping me to fill in that, you know, that void. So it's been really sweet. I would say that the overall theme, and actually I was chatting to Gary this morning, and I said, you know, Gary, I find that we've been operating in a certain way in the last couple of years, pushing and doing more and more and more, and it served us very well back then. But now I feel that it is the kind of year of doing less, but in a higher quality, if that makes sense. I am a different person. I've been evolving. I've been working really hard on understanding my direction and making sure that my intentions are clear. And it's a continuous work, of course, but it's something that I want to continue doing, and I want to make sure that I have the space to do. And I feel like that's very much what 2023 will be about. Number one, I feel like after COVID, I just had such an itch to go everywhere and to do everything, and felt FOMO when we weren't able to travel like everyone else. It was just kind of silly, but when I did travel, it would throw me off so much. Like, it would drain me energetically. I would romanticize it so much that when I had the opportunity to experience it, I just kind of like didn't value it. So when I was sitting down with myself a couple of days ago, I'm like, I'm done romanticizing travel. I'm done thinking that the grass is greener somewhere else. This is exactly where I want to be. I want to be in my home. I want to be in my space. I want to be in my routine. I love my routine. Just very much being here and now is definitely a goal. The second thing that I definitely want to stop doing is over-consuming everything, to be honest, like across all categories. If it's ordering too much food in restaurants, if it's buying too many things, if it's watching too many things, just overconsumption of anything, both like intellectually, mentally, physically. Enough. Like, it's time to do less. Then another thing, this constant obsession for healing and self-improvement, which I feel as humans we do it all the time. We take a concept to a point where we just suck the living juice out of it, and then it becomes a bit of a toxic thing, you know? And I kind of think that that's where we at a little bit. I don't know about you, but I have certain people around me, and recognize it in myself as well, by the way, where I would constantly like look for answers or explanation to certain traumas, and, you know, this constant need for healing and validating. And it kind of got to a point where if I'm constantly looking for something, then how can I actually be here and like enjoy what I have now and how I feel and what I'm experiencing now? Definitely a conscious effort of just, no, we love the evolution, we love the accountability, we love the self-awareness. I will always advocate for that, but some things just don't need to be explored to the point where it just leads you to like a deeper and deeper whole. So those are some of the things that I feel I'm truly happy to leave behind and stop doing. And I wonder what they are for you. Let me know in the comments, because I'm very, very curious to hear. Like, the word that comes up to me right now as I'm speaking is just alignment. It's just being in alignment with myself, with my needs, with my wants, and make sure that it's coming from a very like pure, connected place. That's very much my number one goal, and everything else will fall into place. And I don't want to constrict myself too much with any to-do list or any like goal list or anything like that, because to me, like, if I'm aligned with myself, it will absolutely hit everything that I want to hit. Because there may be things that I can't even fathom right now. I can't even imagine them happening. And they will come and happen and find me once I'm on that road of just clarity and all that, all those wonderful things. I hope all of you will wrap up this year with gratitude and a bit of a self-examination in a very like simple way. We're not like going into these whole like layers and layers, you know, just a little scan of like, where am I, what's up, has it been good? If not, how do I make it good, you know? Cheers to us and to an amazing 2023. I truly feel like we'll find a balance in 2023. A balance, you know, whatever it means, but it's not going to be as chaotic and insane and very not stable as it been in 2022. Hopefully the world will also find its something, like a calm will come. I feel it. Thank you so much for being with me this year, and I hope I'll see you here next year. I love you all. Ta-ta!